Hello, I'm Neff, and welcome to the Neff Was Here daily vlog, where daily means once every 2 or 3 months, apparently. Even with my minimal production quality, I'm still just not able to get these things out as fast as I wanted to, but we'll keep trying. So yeah, anyway, welcome to my garage. I'm here to show you my altcoin mining machine. Let's take a look here really quick. So I've got it set up out here, and as you can see, here's my PC tower with some extra stuff there. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about what we got going here. So okay, so normally when you hear cryptocurrency, you think of Bitcoin. There are these other things called altcoins, or alternate cryptocurrency. Those are the ones that hobbyists like me can make a little bit of money off of. Bitcoin is a little too mainstream, and you have to have really specialized equipment these days to make any money off of that. So mining is when you run software on your computer that actually, it's basically helping to encode these digital transactions, and you get a reward for doing that work, for participating in that effort. So, yeah, depending on the machine you have, you might be able to do more work, get more reward. But then you have to think about how much power you're using to power that process. So I know Bitcoin mining and altcoin mining around the world is becoming kind of an environmental problem, because it uses so much power to do this, all this really crazy mathematical work to encode these transactions, that that's kind of an interesting issue that cryptocurrency kind of faces in the future. But anyway, so let me show you a little bit more about what I got going on here. So this is, my desktop computer that I'm using, and as you can see, I got the side opened up, and this kind of Frankenstein of cables going back and forth here. And this is a custom wooden frame that I built that is suspending these are GPUs, or graphics processing units, and normally you'd only have one of these inside your computer. That's the thing that you need if you want to play video games. Usually you use these guys to play your Far Cry or whatever. You need a powerful graphics card to do fancy graphics, but it turns out they're also really good at doing cryptocurrency calculations. So the more you have, the better. So these are all connected to the inside of the PC here with these PCI risers. Whoops, let me get in there a little better. These PCI riser cards plug in to all your available PCIe slots, and then you have these USB, these are actually just USB cords that come out and connect to where the GPU would normally connect into your motherboard. And so you have this kind of this fake riser, or a fake plug in there, and that's where the USB cord plugs in. So I'll actually show you in a little more detail here. This red slot is where the GPU normally would plug in, and then you have to power this guy itself, and so it's got I'm using the SATA power adapters for these, but it also has a couple other little power plugs on here, I guess you could use if you wanted. And then that's where the USB cable plugs in. So the data goes over the USB, gets power, it sends the data to the graphics card, and then the graphics card can go work on it and send the results back to the PC over that USB cable. And here's where the fake little card here plugs in inside your tower, and then you just plug in that USB cable. So yeah, I happen to have all these GPUs that I got and strung them up here with zip ties on these metal bars, and they just kind of sit around here next to my PC. And yeah, so the power from all the power from this power supply is not quite enough to power all 6 of these GPUs. So I actually have a second power supply just sitting here on the outside, and all the PCIe power supply is being used, I believe, to power all these cards. I'm not sure. There's some of them use 1, some of them use 2, but anyway, This is the motherboard power supply plug here, and you see I've got some tape over here because inside there's a paper clip connecting 2 pins, and that tells the power supply that that's okay for it to actually turn on. Without that, it actually won't turn on at all when you flip the switch in the back. So that's you kind of have to rig it up so that it will turn on and power your cards. So basically, when I boot this whole thing up, I have to turn this power supply on first. It powers up about half the cards, and then when that's done, I turn on the computer, and so then everything has power, and it boots up, and it's ready to go. Voila. So on the software side here, you know, if we just go and we look at Windows, device manager here, you can actually see under display adapters, look, I got all these video cards here. And so, yeah, I actually bought this 1060 straight up. I got this one used, and then the rest I got for free. And you know, this computer actually only has 5 available PCIe slots. I was running a different one that had 6, but I never have actually gotten all 6 GPUs working because I got all these different kinds. I'm mixing AMD and Nvidia, and as you can see, I got this 3 extra cards here. Some of them don't work because they were just too old. Actually, I'm not sure if any of those work. I think I got an extra one on here that's also kind of not working right now. But anyway, so you know, I just kind of pieced it together, see what's working. So the software that I'm running on here, just Windows 10. I disabled automatic updates, and you have to turn off Windows Defender. But the program that does the mining here, that makes it all easy to use, is NiceHash, and it doesn't actually show the name apparently here. But as you can see, you got 5 GPUs working, and right now I'm only doing about $3.81 per day, and this fluctuates based on I think the value of Bitcoin, or basically the you know, how much work is available for these altcoins. Maybe I haven't really figured that part out yet, but when Bitcoin is up, the altcoins are up as well in popularity, and so that tends to result in higher profits anyway. So this was about $4.50 a day, you know, a couple weeks ago. This is the view showing how each of my GPUs is performing, by the way. So the 1060 here with the 6 gigs is doing about 0.03 millibitcoins BTC per 24 hours a day, and the 1070 here is doing just a little bit more, and the rest are kind of like a quarter of that or a third of that, whatever. Yeah, this RX 480, that used to be doing almost as good as my 1060 before, but now it just doesn't seem to be pulling its weight. So yeah, just kind of, this NiceHash is nice because it groups all the available miners or popular miners together, and kind of helps you. Basically, these are the miners running, each one for each GPU pretty much, and some of these can run on multiple GPUs. But since I have a mix, usually that opens up like a different miner for each one. But anyway, yeah, NiceHash will kind of help figure out which one is most profitable for your hardware at a given time. So. Makes it really easy. Like I don't really want to spend time, you know, getting into my own custom stuff. So NiceHash makes it easy. I've got a balance on there, and they pay it out every like so often, every day or so. So I've got a good balance of Bitcoin that just kind of builds up. But you know, again, only about 0.1 millibitcoin per day. So you know, or you know, around $4 per day. Now the other thing you gotta think about is how much power this takes. So I've actually got a power monitor here that the computer, both PSU or both power supplies are plugged in there, and so you can see it says about 850. Sorry, the lighting's really bad here. My arm. Yeah, about 850 watts right now. So if you calculate that out for 24 hours and the price of electricity, I estimate that it costs about $2, per day. And so, if I subtract that $2 from my almost $4. You know, sometimes I'm making about $2 a day, sometimes $2.50 a day. Right now, a little bit less than $2 a day. So $60 a month, you know. And so if Bitcoin kind of goes back up in popularity, you know, then maybe, let's see. So yeah, so if Bitcoin maybe goes back up in popularity, you know, the value gets higher here, I'll start, you know, making more money. But I mean, you know, $50 a month, that's not too bad just for shelf space, you know, as long as it keeps working. So back in the day when I actually first set this machine up, back here when Bitcoin first peaked around, you know, holiday of 2017 and into 2018, and it went so I think the highest point was around $20,000 per Bitcoin, and I was actually making around $10 a day, something like that. My power usage apparently was about twice as high. I don't know why the power usage was so different back then. So I was paying twice as much for power, but getting more money. So I definitely made the money back for buying that 1060 with the 6 gigs, the Zotac 1060. And then it kind of, you know, tapered off, and so I stopped mining for a long time, and I still had my, you know, rig sitting around. And then this happened, and I was like, oh, I should probably figure it out again, get it set up and see. And I was a little bit slow. So now we're kind of in here with, you know, Bitcoin's back around the mid 30s. That's kind of what I'm using to gauging about how profitable it is. I don't know. Maybe I should have kept mining to see, but it didn't seem like it was very, I think I tried it once. It didn't seem like it was very profitable. So, I mean, if you're thinking about getting into, you know, cryptocurrency mining, you know, I wouldn't really recommend it right now unless you have like free GPUs sitting around, or if you're like really going to get into researching it and figure out, you know, how to be profitable. I know that I don't know how to make it profitable if I was going to go out and buy GPUs. Maybe if, I think, you know, you can spend several $1,000s and buy a specialized ASIC machine for mining Bitcoin. But yeah, it's really only profitable with like the latest hardware if you're doing Bitcoin. So so yeah, anyway, I mean, just to give you a little taste and some brief overview of what I got going here. And it's not that hard to set up. You can buy the PCIe risers for, you know, it's pretty cheap, less than $50 for all of those. And then if you happen to have an extra PC tower with a lot of PCIe slots, and if you happen to have some free GPUs, then just go make a NiceHash account and you can start mining cryptocurrency. But again, oh yeah, hey, look, I just popped up over $4. Awesome. So it's running, it basically is trying to make an estimate here. But you'll actually be able to tell how much money you've made if you just look at your past 24 hours of actual mining results or something like that. So, all right, well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to post another video very soon. Thank you.